Good morning, students. Today I am going to start a new chapter from your class 12 biology syllabus. That's chapter 7 and the name of the chapter is evolution. Already we have completed total 6 chapters from your class 12 biology syllabus, and already I have posted all the videos on this chapter. Okay, and I hope all of you have gone through all those chapters properly. I hope so that already all of you gone through all those videos on chapter 1 to 6. So today I am going to start a new chapter, and today's topic is the session 1 of evolution chapter. So first you should know that what you have to study from these chapters, what you have to study from this chapter. Okay, so the first thing you have to study that the introduction, second thing origin of life, next evolution of life forms a theory, what are the evidences for evolution, what are adaptive radiation, what is biological evolution and concept about the biological evolution, next thing mechanism of evolution, next Hardy-Weinberg principle, and the last one is the origin and evolution of man. So within all those topics, the main important topics are what are the evidences of evolution, this is also important topic, what are adaptive radiation, this is also important, Hardy-Weinberg principle is also important topic, and this origin and evolution of man is also important topic. Okay, and the rest of the portion, the rest of the topics are also important, but within all topics these 4 topics are very, very important for your class 12 biology exam. Okay, so first you should know what is the basic definition of evolution. So what is the basic themes of the evolution, that already you knew the chapters checklist. So now I am coming to the evolution. So I think all of you have heard the term this evolution, because already you have studied this chapter in your class 10 standard. Okay, I hope so. And this chapter is quite easy chapter. This chapter is not difficult like the chapter 5 and chapter 6. Okay, this chapter is quite easy chapter, and I hope already you know a little bit about this evolution. So what is the meaning of the evolution? Evolution means the evidence of change. Evolution means the evidence of change. Okay, so this is the proof of change. So change is actually the constant. Okay, in our life the change is actually the constant thing. So what is the basic definition of evolution? That evolution is actually the sequence of gradual changes from simple life to the complex life forms. Okay, I am repeating again, what is the basic definition of evolution? That evolution is actually the sequence of gradual changes from simple life to complex life forms. What is the meaning of this? That in the millions of years ago, the primitive organism which lived over the millions of years ago to new organism that exists today. So human beings actually the most recent and most highly evolved among this organism. Okay, so this is the basic concept of the evolution. So what is the basic definition of the evolutionary biology? So this evolutionary biology is the study of history of life forms on earth. So what is the basic introduction of this chapter? That the evolutionary biology is the study of history of life forms on the earth. Okay, so now I am coming to the significance of this evolutionary biology. What is the basic significance of this thing? Okay, suppose this evolutionary biology is not included in our biology world, then what will be the consequence? Then what will happen? Actually, through this evolutionary biology, it actually signifies that to understand the changes in the flora and fauna that have occurred over millions of years on earth, and we must have an understanding of context of origin of life, that is the evolution of earth, stars, and indeed the universe itself. I am repeating again. So it actually the changes in the flora and fauna. It's actually the changes in the flora and fauna. So now you can ask me one thing, that what is the basic meaning of the flora and fauna? The basic meaning of the flora and fauna is the plant world and the animal world. There are two living organisms present in our world. The flora, it means the plant. I think all of you know this thing. And the fauna means the animal. Okay. So these to understand the changes in the flora and fauna, to understand the changes in the whole living organisms that have occurred over millions of years on earth, we must have an understanding of context of origin of life, that is the evolution of earth, of stars, and indeed the universe itself. So evolution means the act of unfolding and unrolling of evolution is orderly the change from one form to another. So this is actually the evolution means the act of the unfolding and the unrolling, or evolution is orderly the change from one form to another. One form to another means the from the primitive to the advanced stage, to the primitive to the advanced stage. Okay, so that's why I am saying that evolution is the sequence of the gradual changes from simple life to the complex form, from the simple life to the complex life. That is the from primitive organisms that lived over the millions of years ago to new organisms that exist today. So this is the figure of the early earth and figure of the Milky Way. Okay, next thing is the origin of life. Next, actually the topic from this chapter is the origin of life. Okay, so what is the basic meaning of the origin of life, or why we will study this origin of life? The origin of life on the earth actually took place millions of years ago. I am repeating again, the origin of life on the earth actually took place the millions of years ago, and the study of history of life forms on earth is called the evolutionary biology. Already we have discussed in our last slide that what is the basic definition of the evolutionary biology. Okay, so the history of life actually comprises the two events. The firstly, this origin of life, and the secondly, the mechanism involved in the changes of living organisms through time. That's called the evolution of life. That's called the evolution of life. Okay, so we will discuss later about the evolution of life. So now I am coming to the origin of life. Okay, so the universe, the first actually this origin of the first, for the origin of life you should know about the history of the universe. Okay, so the universe is actually about 20 billion years old. Okay, 15 to 20 billion years old, and it completes, actually it comprises, it includes the huge cluster of galaxies which contains stars and clouds of gas and the dust. Okay, next thing, according to the Big Bang theory, I think all of you know this thing because I hope you have studied all those things about your physics subject. So this Big Bang theory explains, which is actually this Big Bang theory actually was given by the Abby Lamette in the year of 1931, that our universe, so what is the main concept, what is the main base of the Big Bang theory? This Big Bang theory actually explains the origin of universe, which states that the universe arose from the huge explosion unimaginable in the physical of the large entity. So I am repeating again, the Big Bang theory explains the origin of universe, which states that the universe arose from a huge explosion unimaginable in physical of large entity. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? That according to the Big Bang theory, our universe actually arose at the different types of the eruption. Okay, so the temperature lowered and the gases like the hydrogen and helium were formed sometimes later. Okay, by the force of gravitation, the gases condensed and galaxies were formed. So when as the universe expanded, the temperature decreases, hydrogen and helium were formed sometimes later. The gases condensed under gravitation and forms the galaxies of the present day universe. So in the solar system of the Milky Way galaxy, Earth was supposed to have been formed about 4.5 billion years back. In the solar system of the Milky Way galaxy, Earth was supposed to have been formed about 4.5 billion years back. Okay. Next thing is the origin of Earth. Next topic is the Earth, the origin of Earth. So this Earth was supposed to have been formed about 4.5 billion years back. Okay, so this Earth was formed 4.5 billion years before. Next thing, water vapor, methane, ammonia and carbon dioxide were released from the molten mass. Water vapor, methane, ammonia and carbon dioxide were released from the molten mass. Okay, the UV rays from the sun broke up water into the hydrogen and the oxygen. The UV rays from the sun broke up splits the H2O, that H plus OH minus, okay, hydrogen and the oxygen. Okay, the water splits and we are getting hydrogen and the oxygen. Okay, the lighter hydrogen gas escaped from the surface while oxygen combined with the other compound to form the water, carbon dioxide, etc. As the water vapor cooled, the water fell as rain and filled all the depressions to form the oceans and other water bodies. As the water vapor cooled, the water actually fell as rain and filled all the depressions to form the oceans and other water bodies. So in this way, oceans and seas are formed. Next thing, from the oxygen, ozone layer was also formed. From the oxygen, ozone layer was also formed. Life started appearing about 500 million years after the formation of Earth, that is about 4 billion years ago. Okay, so life started appearing about 500 million years after the formation of Earth, that is about 4 billion years ago. Okay, so subsequently, this is actually origin of Earth. Subsequently the ozone layer was formed, and as it cooled, the water vapor fell as rain and filled all the depressions. Okay, so next thing is the theories of origin of life. This is our last topic for today's class, that the theories of origin of life. So various theories were proposed to explain the origin of life. The first thing is the life on Earth appeared at the 500 million years after its formation, about 4 billion years ago. So in order to explain origin of life on the Earth, different theories were given by different thinkers and scientists. So there are total 4 theories are there all those 4 theories actually established this origin of life concept. The first thing is the theory of special creation. The second thing is the theory of the panspermia or cosmozoic theory. Next theory of the spontaneous generation, and the last theory is the theory of chemical evolution. So this is important. Okay. So first theory is the theory of the special creation. Second is the theory of cosmozoic, theory of spontaneous, the third one, and the last one is the theory of chemical evolution. So first theory is the theory of the special creation. So what is the meaning of this? That it states that God concept, this supernatural being, has created life by his divine act of creation. That is, the earth, the light, plants and animals are all being created by the supernatural power. Okay. So this theory has the 3 suggested views. This theory of the special creation has the 3 suggested views. The first one is the all living organisms that we see today were created as such. all living organisms, different species or types of plants and animals that we see today was created as such. As such means were created by the God, okay, the supernatural being, the supernatural creature. Next thing is the diversity of life forms was always the same since the time of creation and will remain in the same in future also. This diversity was always the same since creation and the future also. The next thing, Earth is about 4,000 years old. So there are total 3 theories. Actually, with these 3 theories are derived from this theory of the special creation. Okay, I am highlighting this portion. This is the theory of the special creation. Okay, so this theory of the special creation actually postulated, actually states that the God actually is the creator of all the living organisms. So not only for the living organism, this God is actually the creator of the everything. Okay, and this theory has the 3 suggested views. The first thing is the all living organisms, different species and types of plants and animals that we see today were created as such. The second thing is the diversity of life forms was always the same since the time of the creation and will remain same in the future also. The next thing, Earth is about 4,000 years old. The next is that all these ideas underwent drastic changes during 19th century when Charles Darwin, when the Charles Darwin actually showed that the existing life forms share similarities to varying degrees among themselves and also with those life forms that existed millions of life ago. So extinctions also took place during a different phase of the geological history. The extinctions also took place during the different phases of the geological history. Okay. Next thing is the theory of the cosmozoic or theory of the panspermia. Theory of the panspermia. Okay. So what is the meaning of this thing? That some scientists, the theory of the cosmozoic theory or panspermia, that it was given by the early Greek thinkers. Okay, which states that the life on Earth arose from the spores or panspermia, which come from the outer space and developed into living forms, which came from the outer space and developed into living forms. Okay, so these early Greek philosophers actually thought the units called the spores and panspermia came on Earth along with the meteorites and they might have evolved into present day forms. Okay. Next thing is the theory of the spontaneous generation. So it states that, so what is the meaning of this theory? That it states that this theory of the spontaneous generation actually states that the life originated from non-living matter automatically. I am repeating again, that it states that life originated from non-living matter automatically, and this theory is also known as the theory of abiogenesis or autobiogenesis. It was supported by Van Helmont, who claimed that mice were formed from a dirty sweat-soaked shirt when put in dirty burned in dark for 21 days. So all those things actually the theoretical statement. There is no actually the science. There is actually no proof behind all those theory. So, but Louis Pasteur demonstrated that life can arise only from the pre-existing life. So, suppose one life is there, okay. So, from this one life, the next life will come, okay. So, always the life will come. Life is coming from the pre-existing life. Life is also coming from the pre-existing life. See, he showed that no life arose from the heat-killed yeast broth that was kept in pre-sterilized closed flasks, while new organism arose from the heat-killed yeast that was kept in the flasks left open the air. Okay, this is the last theory, that the theory of the chemical evolution. Okay, So this theory actually was given by the Oparin and Herden. This theory was proposed by the Oparin and Herden. Okay, and according to them, actually the first forms of life came from pre-existing non-living organic molecules. According to them, the first form of life actually came from the pre-existing. One pre-existing life is always will be there, and the non-living organic molecules. Non-living means the RNA, protein, all those things. A new organism is formed. A new organism is formed. That organism B. This is the pre-existing organism A. Okay. So, and the chemical evolution was followed by the formation of life. So these conditions on the earth favoring chemical evolution were high temperature, volcanic storms, and reducing atmosphere containing that the methane and the ammonia. So they proposed that life first form could have from the pre-existing portion with the non-living organic molecules, and that formation of life was preceded by the chemical evolution. That is formation of diverse organic molecules from the inorganic constituents. Formation of diverse organic molecules from the inorganic constituents. Next thing, the conditions on earth that favored chemical evolution were very high temperature, volcanic storms, reducing atmosphere that contained methane, ammonia and the water vapor. I am repeating again, the conditions on earth that favored chemical evolution were very high temperature, that the volcanic storms and reducing the atmosphere that contains the methane, ammonia and the water vapor. So this actually the three things are very much important, that the methane, ammonia and water vapor. Okay. So this is the basic theory of the chemical evolution. Okay. So in our next class we will discuss the experimental evidence of this chemical evolution, because this is not just the story, this is not actually, there is a proof, there is a chemical proof is there behind this theory. Okay. So this is the today's class. In today's class what we actually came to know, the first thing is the what is the basic definition of evolution. Okay. And the second thing is the origin of life, the concept of origin of life and the theories of origin of life. Okay. In our next class we will discuss the experimental evidence of the chemical evolution. So this is the today's class. I hope it will help you a lot for better understanding. Please go through first NCERT book and then follow this video. I hope it will clear your concept. Okay. So for today I am ending this session, and in our next class we will discuss a new thing. Okay. Thank you. Bye.